Faculty of Business and Law, we are top 150 in the world for hospitality and tourism management, and then we are top 200 for economics and management in the world. And our programs are accredited by AACSB, and our accounting programs are accredited by CPA. So students don't have to necessarily get themselves accredited when they finish. So when students come and study with us, these are the accreditations that are attached with their degrees. So making us again a quality education provider. Bachelor of Commerce, one of the most popular programs with us. It's a 3-year full-time duration program. It's offered both at Newcastle City and Central Coast. Intakes would be Feb and July. So the coming intake, if the borders open up, we will have the July intake full-fledged being taken across our Newcastle City and Central Coast campus. Then we've got the Ielts requirement for maximum of your undergrad program remains 6 overall and section minimum 6. And for programs that are, which are related to medicine or health might have a higher requirement, but maximum programs overall are requirement for us would be 6 overall, section minimum 6. We accept all equivalent English exams as well. And like your PTE, IELTS, TOEFL, all equivalent exams we accept. Majors for this particular program is accounting, economics, and finance, and indicative fee is approximately 28,245 per year. Employment for this program is 93.8% with us, and we are top 8 in Australia for our business programs. Bachelor of Business. Now again, this is a 3-year full-time. Our requirement remains the same, 2 intakes, Feb and July. And we have 8 majors available, and we give students the flexibility to choose 1 major, 1 minor, 1 major, 2 minor. So we have that flexibility available for students who wish to do more than 1 subject in their majors, they can select that. For this particular program, we have majors like entrepreneurship and leadership management, we have hospitality and tourism, we have marketing to choose from. So a lot of variety of majors are available, and we have 100%, we have 100 hours of work placement embedded in this program. So students who are looking out for an internship, this is the perfect program. And if you would like to know the difference between business and commerce with us, it's more to do with the fee and the majors available. So for this particular program, for commerce, it was 28,245. For business, it is 27,875 with us. And employment rate, if you look at, is 84.9%. Now, under business, we have 2-year master degree study options available. We've got MBA Global. We've got, and then in combination, this is a new program that we've introduced, MBA Global with Master of Science, Business Analytics. Very, very popular program for us. And we've seen a lot of students coming in from Nepal for this program. In the July intake, we have approximately 4 students who are coming in. So this is something that is catching up in the market. Then we've got MPA Advanced program. Then we've got combination degrees. We've got MBA with Master of Applied Finance. Any specialization students can do in combination with MBA, which is Applied Finance, Human Resource, International Business, Marketing, or MPA in combination with MBA. Now, if students prefer to do MBA General, we would require an experience of 3 years. But if they do it in combination with another master's, which is a specialization, we take that case by case. I will take you across in detail about these programs as well. MBA Global, again, one of the most popular programs for our university. The duration for this program is 2 years. This is offered both in Newcastle and Sydney. Now at Newcastle, this is offered in Feb and July, which is a semester intake. At Sydney, we offer this program in trimester intake. So for students who would like to go to Sydney, always be mindful of telling that to your students, that the intakes are different, but the way the program runs is very similar. So who can study MBA Global with us? It's a non-cognate, for students coming in from any background, they are more than welcome to study. Someone who's coming from a fashion background, a science background, any background is welcome. So it's designed for fresh graduates. And how this program will run with us is 1 year, student will study with us at Newcastle or Sydney, whichever is the preferred campus of choice. In the third semester, which during the summer or the winter break, we will take our students out for a study tour. Now, the study tour would be between 3 to 4 weeks. And we have various tie-ups all over the world. We have tie-ups in Italy, we have tie-ups in US with Montclair University, so on and so forth. I can provide that list to you all as to which tie-ups we have. And the student doesn't have to worry about their accommodation, about their flight tickets, about their visas. It will all be covered by our university. And all students have to do is choose the university they like for the study tour, and we will do the rest. Now, once the student is back after the 3 to 4 weeks of study tour, we will provide them an internship, and that internship will be in the fourth semester. So your study tour, your internship, it's all embedded in the program. And what we have noticed is 19 out of 20 students work in the same company that they intern with us. So it's like a ready employment available for students. And it's like a packaged program. Students don't have to worry about anything. They get their experience, they get their internship, everything packaged in one program. And our indicative fee for this particular program is 28,350, so very competitive. And our English requirement is 6.5 overall, section minimum 6. I think I'll skip this one. We might not be taking this program ahead. Let's talk about Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment. We've got 43 undergrad degrees to choose from and 15 postgrad degrees to choose from. And this is something very interesting. We are #1 in Australia for our engineering programs. Also, we are an associate member of Group 8 universities, and our programs are accredited by Engineers Australia and Washington Accord. Some of the key accreditations that students should look out for when they are selecting their engineering degree in Australia, and we have those accreditations attached with us. Otherwise, we are #1 in Australia for automation and control, #8 in the world for automation and control again. And few of the newer rankings that we've got is we are world number 26 when it comes to mineral and mining engineering, and top 100 for architecture and civil engineering. Let's talk about Bachelor of Engineering. I know it says 4 years duration there, but few of our degrees, which are just bachelor, would be 3 years full-time. For degrees that have honors as well, that would be 4 years. So we do have those combination degrees as well. It's offered both in Feb and July. Indicative fee would be between 32,000 to approximately 36,000 per year. And our IELTS requirement would be 6 overall, no bands less than 6. We've got Master of Professional Engineering as well. Again, I know it says 1 to 3 years in this slide. We've got 3 options for student coming in who prefer to study their postgrad in engineering with us. We have a pathway A, we have a pathway B, we have a pathway C. Now, pathway A is 1 year. For students coming in directly from their bachelor's to their master's, they get credits. They study just 1 year. For students who have a newer, who are straight away coming into a postgrad, fall in the pathway B, which is 2 years. And that's when you get your post-study work right as well, because you have to study 2 years minimum. And 3 years for someone who's not from the background, but wishes to do an engineering degree. So we do have those options available, but maximum students come into the 2-year degree, which is pathway B. So do not get confused. Always refer to our website if you have any confusion. That's where you will have the latest information. Now, we offer again in Feb and July intake both these programs, and indicative fee for a master's degree would be between 36 to 38,000 Australian dollars. And IELTS requirement again is 6.5, no bands less than 6. Now, these are the few disciplines that we have our engineering degrees in. We have it in chemical, we have it in civil, computer system, electrical and electronic, environmental, mechanical, mechatronics, medical, renewable energy is something new that we've just added up. And of course, we have software as well. Master of Materials Science and Engineering, 2 years full-time program with us, offered both in Feb and July. Location is only Newcastle City campus that we offer. 6.5 overall, no bands less than 6, and indicative fee for this particular program is 38,080 per year. Now, who can enter into this program? And please remember, we are world number 36 for this program, and this is only because of the amazing efforts that our Professor Ajay Vinu has done, and he's a world leader when it comes to material science and engineering. Now, Mr. Professor Ajay Vinu and his tireless efforts in the market has been recognized by the Australian government as well, and the Australian government has awarded him with $1 million for research into material science and engineering. So we are very fortunate to have him on board with us, and this is the sort of stature that we have in our university who teach these programs that make our degrees qualified as top 40 in the world, especially this one. This is number 36. Now, who can come into this program is students who come from industries that is defense, medical technology, petrochemical, mining and mineral. We've got clean fuels, energy technology. So students from these backgrounds can come and study this program with us. Bachelor of Computer Science, very, very popular with us. It's a 3-year full-time program offered in Feb and July, as requirement remains the same. Indicative fees 32,915. This is only offered at Newcastle. So please remember, all your undergrad degrees will only be offered at Newcastle. For your postgrad, we have a combination of different campuses that students can choose from. So for computer science, we have majors to choose from: cybersecurity, which is a new addition of majors. Then we've got computer system and robotics. We've got data science, and we've got software development. Then we've got Bachelor of IT, 3 years full-time, all requirements remain the same. Indicative fees 32,625 per year, and the majors that students can choose from is interactive media, business technology, and systems development. Now, students do have the option of selecting a double major within this program. So students who wish to do 2 of those, more than welcome to select their own, and they can tailor their degree accordingly as per their career interests as well. Then we've got MIT. Now, please remember, this is a 2-year full-time program with us. We also have started offering this at our Sydney campus because of the popularity of the program. And this particular program is offered in trimester intake. Trimester for us is Feb, May, and September. Now, this is offered both at Newcastle and Sydney in a trimester intake form. And our IELTS requirement would be 6.5 overall and no bands less than 6. Indicative fee is 36,515. There's another news that I have for you is we also take grad cert in IT at our Sydney campus as well. So for students who are not getting a direct entry into the program but would wish to go to Sydney campus, they also have an entry option through grad cert into IT. Now, we do carry that particular grad cert at our Sydney campus as well, and that's a recent change that we have. Then we've got Master of Cybersecurity. This is taught by, again, one of the global leaders in the market, Professor Vijay Varadarajan. It's a 2-year full-time program with us. We just have one intake, February. So if you have students in for the next intake, more than happy for them to come in. Location is only Newcastle, and IELTS requirement is 6.5, no bands less than 6. Indicative fee is 36,490. Master of Architecture, we are top 100 in the world for architecture program. And why this particular specialization is very important to us is because it's taught by 6 AIA gold medalists. For those who do not know what AIA is, that's the highest accreditation or recognition that an architect can get in Australia. And we have 6 gold medalists who teach that program, and they have their own practices as well. So we know students who come into this program, they have like a ready employment available, because we only take quality students in to this program. And please remember of timelines for architecture. We have a 2-step verification. Now, for general programs, it just comes to admissions team, but for architecture, this is also verified through our faculty as well. So first step is admissions, next is faculty would be looking into every profile as well. When looking at the profile and the timeline. So timeline for this particular program is 10 days for us to get back to you. So within 10 days, you will know of our decision. For others, we take 3 to 4 business days to issue a conditional offer letter. But for architecture, it's usually 10 days. So please prepare your students from the first step of counseling that you do. For this program, it's 10 days. Faculty will assess every profile that comes in. So for Master of Architecture, IELTS requirement would be 6.5, no bands less than 6. Please be mindful when you make applications for this program. Please submit the entire syllabus. So when you make an application, syllabus has always supposed to be submitted in the first go. If you do not submit the syllabus, we will not be able to go ahead with the assessment of the profile. By syllabus, I mean whatever coursework students have studied in their bachelor's, that has to be attached along with your application form. Now, Master of Disaster Resilience and Sustainable Development. This is offered, and we are the only university who has a program that offers it with UNITAR. For those who do not know what UNITAR is, it's United Nations Institute of Training and Research. And we are also accredited by CIFAL. It's a 2-year full-time program with us, offered in trimester intake, only at Newcastle, and get a fees 33,135. IELTS requirement is 6.5 with no bands less than 6. Now, students who graduate from this degree will also have a UNITAR accreditation with their degree attached, which of course gives them a better opportunity to get jobs in Australia. Then we've got Faculty of Science. We are top 3 in Australia for cognitive science, and we are top 100 in the world for sociology, exercise, support science as well. And then we've got top 50 in the world for psychology, so on and so forth. Bachelor of Science, 3-year full-time program, Feb and July intakes. We've got our IELTS requirement is 6 overall, no bands less than 6. We've got 8 disciplines that students can choose from to do their majors, and students again have the flexibility within this program to do 2 majors, 1 minor, etc. So we've got biochemistry, geography, earth science, environmental science, mathematics, physics, and psychology that students can choose from. We also have a full-fledged psychology degree as well. So the only difference between both the degrees would be this would open up more opportunities for students who want to keep their focus area a little broad, so they can choose 2 majors to do. This is again offered at Newcastle, and indicator fees 35,920 per year. Bachelor of Biotechnology, this just has 1 intake, which is the February intake. 3 years full-time, indicator fees 36,335, and what students will learn within this program is climate change, fuel alternatives, food security, and I think we are the only university in Australia which places students for 10 weeks within this program for an internship. So, and for those of you, if you're wondering if these internships are paid or not, usually the hours that are embedded within the program are unpaid, but students usually are awarded a certificate of appreciation for doing these placements. Bachelor of Psychological Science, we are accredited by APAC, and it's a 3-year full-time program with us, offered in Feb and July. IELTS requirement is high, which is 7 overall, no bands less than 7. And this is offered at Newcastle and our Ourimbah campus. Indicator fees 37,115 per year. I'm pretty sure everyone is aware of this chart, but I'll still take you through. So for students who do psychological science with us, it'll be a 3. Why did it pop up? I'm sorry, is my screen frozen? No, all right. Okay, so 3-year chart for students coming into psychological science. They study with us for 3 years, and then there's an honors degree as well. Now, it's required for students to do a 4-year degree in psychology. Only then can they enter into their masters in Australia. And after completing the 6 years of study in psychology, only can then they practice psychology in Australia. So this is a chart for you all to remember how you can map the student journey with us. Then we've got Faculty of Health. We are top 38 in the world for nursing and top 150 in the world for medicine. Again, one of the most niche programs that we have under our belt. I'm not too sure if we've covered nursing here. Okay, we have nursing. So to take you through, we've got Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science. We have 2 specializations in this. One is in diagnostic radiography. The other one, we have it in radiation therapy. Requirement is the same. We have 89% employment rate for students who graduate within 4 months. And we have 42 weeks of clinical placement embedded in the program. Now, potential career outcomes is radiographer, cardiac technologist, sonographer, and both of these programs are 4 years with us, and intake is only February. So it's the right time to start building that application pipeline for February. And the IELTS requirement is 7 overall with no bands less than 7. And location is Newcastle only, and the fee is 32,410 for both the programs. Then we've got Bachelor of Nursing. I'm sorry, I know it says world top 47, but with the new QS ranking, we are world top 38 for nursing, and 3-year full-time program with us. We just have 1 intake, which is February. IELTS requirement is 7 overall, no bands less than 7. And we have 800 hours of clinical placement embedded in the program, and our degree is accredited by ANMAC, and we have a placement rate of 94% attached with our degree. Now, we also have 88 hospitals that we have a tie-up with over Newcastle and Sydney. So for students who do those 800 hours of clinical placement will be placed in one of those 88 hospitals that we have a tie-up with, wherein they can practice and learn. So it's more of hands-on learning that we encourage students to do. And please remember, there's just 1 intake, and our fees for this program is 32,720 per year. Then we've got Faculty of Education and Arts, Bachelor of Communication, 3-year full-time program offered in Newcastle. Intake is just 1, which is semester 1. Our IELTS requirement is 6.5, no bands less than 6. And we have 4 majors where the students can choose from, which is public relations and strategic communication, news and digital media, media production, experience creation. So for students who are interested into coming into communication, usually the entry requirement is higher for them. Then let's talk about living on campus. We do have hostel accommodation in Newcastle, and we do have homestay facilities as well, which is all administered by the university itself. So 2 options, one is hostel accommodation and one is homestay. Now, homestay is usually awarded to students who are under 18 or are coming into our undergrad programs, who would require a bit of hand-holding when they're coming to a new place. For students who prefer hostel accommodation straight away, we do have options, and our beaches are just 20 minutes away from our hostels. So very close by. We have 24/7 security available, and we have 9 residences and 1,800 beds wherein students can choose from. We have, and our hostel would range between 180 to 320 Australian dollars per week. And that depends how many facilities you're getting included. Are you including your food with it? Are you including extra internet package? So it depends. The cost would increase with the amount of facilities you get included in your package, but the minimum is 180, highest goes 320. So the support and services that we have for our students who come in is free legal advice. We've got health and welfare advisors. We've got on-campus security 24/7, and then we've got career guidance and advice. And we've also have 7 state-of-the-art libraries in our campus as well. These are a few facilities that we have for students who would like to enjoy their campus life. We've got medical services, ovals and parks, 80+ clubs and societies, and we are also on the verge of developing a Nepalese club and society. So their vice president, etc., were supposed to be elected this week, but I'm not too sure with the COVID, etc., how it's going. But for students who wish to interact with current students, we'll soon have the social club, and I will share that information across whenever that's finalized as well. I've covered clubs and societies. We do have pre-arrival assistance as well for students coming in. So it's not like as soon as the student gets a confirmation of enrollment, there is no communication that goes. No, we right from the start till the end, we help our students to get comfortable in the university, because we understand that it's a different location that you're in and that requires a lot of adjustment. So we are here to help them with their journey. And we have few things that we have at our university, like NU mates. So that helps students to explore the areas around, meet new people, interact with new friends. Then we've got Cheap Tuesdays. It's a monthly student dinner that is organized with international flavors and is organized in coordination with the local community. Then we've got Goals, which is a social football, basketball, badminton club. So lots of clubs that we have for students. So it's not just study, it's also a lot of extracurricular activities that we encourage students to come in. Scholarships, now that is something that everyone asks us and is the most important thing for students to make the decision when they come to Australia. We've got International Excellence Scholarship. Now this is exclusive to citizens from India only. And this ranges from 5,000 to 15,000. It depends. It's a tiered award-based academic ground that we will award this scholarship. We have it in 3 tiers, which means 5,000, 10,000, and 15,000. We have the categorization and the ATAR available on our university website that you can take a look at, but 3-step guidance, so 5, 10, 15. So for students who are achieving 85% plus, receive 15,000. For students which are between 75 to 85, they get 10,000, and the ones lower get 5,000 per year. So remember, this scholarship is per year. So if you, to give you an example, say a student scores 15,000 per year, and student chooses to go into MBA Global. Now our MBA Global fee is approximately 29,000. If a student scores 15,000 scholarship, that brings the scholarship to almost 50%. So again, a very excellent initiative by the university, but that's at this stage only open to Indian citizens. Then we've got South Asia Business Scholarship. This is open to all South Asian countries. It is 10,000 overall on the tuition fee, which makes it 2,500 approximately per semester that the student receives. And duration that the student can choose is up until 2 years. And if a student performs well in the last semester, they're eligible to get an additional 2,500 off as well, making their entire scholarship to 12,500. Then we've got Phoebe Golden Jubilee International Scholarship. This is 100% fee waiver scholarship, and this will be awarded to student who is highly academically gifted. Last year, we had a student from India who received this scholarship, and she scored approximately 96% in her 12th grade. and she had written 2 research papers at the age of 18. So we do get a very high profile of students who come in and apply for this scholarship. And for almost all your scholarships, we will do an automatic assessment when you make an application. But for Phoebe Golden Jubilee International Scholarship, there'll be a separate application that the student will have to write in order to receive this scholarship. Then we've got Phoebe Architecture and Built Environment Postgrad Scholarship and Engineering Scholarship. Now this is open only to your engineering program coursework. It's offered 6,000 per year, again depending upon how much the student has achieved in their last semester or in their 12th class student. We will let you know as to how much the student has achieved, but more than happy for student to get this particular scholarship per year. Then we've got Phoebe International Undergrad Scholarship. This will be awarded 5,000 per year for a duration up until 4 years, depending again upon their final score. That was all from my end. I'm happy to take questions now.
That's great, Dolly. Thank you so much for your presentation. I'm sure everyone got a lot of great details from that. I think one of the questions that some of our agents would like to ask is going back to that scholarship. If you're able to get the between 5,000 and 15,000, what sort of is there like a mark that you would like a guaranteed mark that you would need to get that, or it does really depend on the applications that come in? It does kind of depend on the standard of the cohort that is applying, or do you have a specific GPA requirement?
We have a specific GPA requirement for that one there. But the thing is, we also, if you notice at the backside of the degree, they would have a calculation meter with every university that they come in, because I understand for your A-class universities, it's a little difficult to score and they have a different degree calculator. So we will calculate that and we will let you know as to how much the student has achieved. But we definitely do have an ATR attached to each tier of that. But please remember that is only open to Indian citizens as of now.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Is there any possibility in the future that this will be open to other markets in South Asia?
Yes, so we are trying our level best to open that to all South Asian markets. But as a trial run, we started it in India and it has been very successful. So, and I do see a lot of high quality applications coming in from Nepal as well. And I'm not too sure if you've received this information from our side, but we've started accepting direct applications from Nepal as well.
Yes, that's right. That's really good news. Yes. So basically students that finish year 12 equivalent in Nepal will can apply directly instead of going through Newcastle International College.
Yes, exactly. So we have categorization for that as well, which I'm more than happy to share with you after this.
Yeah, that would be great to share, because a lot of our agents would we'll share with them the details about the exact requirements and such. So everybody can think about some. I can already see some questions coming in, but before we get to these questions, I'd like to ask, particularly for this region, how do you think students from Nepal, India, how do you think they enjoy the experience at Newcastle compared to, say, other universities? And what would be the difference in experience going to the main campus in Newcastle as opposed to going in Sydney? And which student should consider either option?
Yeah, so I would be very honest, we do have a larger chunk of students from South Asia who prefer to come to Newcastle. And what sets Newcastle and Sydney apart is for students coming into Newcastle, they're cutting down the competition. They're not only, if you look at Sydney, of course, you have the best of universities there as well, but there's a lot of competition. So say students going in from an XYZ university and coming in from Newcastle, they will have a really high competition for one particular job. But for Newcastle, since we do have key companies in Newcastle as well, and there's been rapid growth of international companies coming into Newcastle, getting jobs in Newcastle is any day easier because there's just one university in Newcastle and we almost cover 65% of the area with our campuses. And as I mentioned in my slides as well, that we have a new campus, Honeysuckle, coming in as well. So for students, it's like a ready employment available. For students who study with us, maximum students end up working with us as well. And again, cost of living is the major factor of consideration when students choose to come to our university, and of course backed by good rankings as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and it was really nice that you touched on how connected the faculty is with the industries, the relevant industries as well, and their connection with finding jobs as well. So I think it's a really good opportunity for students that study in Newcastle. Particularly, there's only one university, as you say. There's certainly a lot of opportunity for graduates when they come out of Newcastle.
Exactly.
So go on.
And for almost all our programs, we have a post-grad employment rate for approximately 90% plus. So again, that's one also factor of consideration that students can remember.
It's really good.
And in regards to our industry tie-ups, in our new brochure, we've covered all the industry tie-ups there as well. So I'll be happy to share that link with you too.
Fantastic. Yeah, if you could share that, that would be great.
Yeah.
So the first question is from SM. He says, what do students study in the one additional year of honours? And do IB grade requirements differ from 3 years bachelor and 4 years bachelor degree? And what are the application deadlines for July and Feb intake?
Okay, so when we talk about application deadlines first, we do not have an application deadline, but we do would like to, for the student and for you all to remember as well, to keep the visa application factor in mind, which takes up to 3 to 4 weeks for the visa to come in. As such, we do not have an application deadline, and for a few programs, we take, we are okay for students to come in 2 weeks late as well. But for few programs, it's a 1 week extension that we provide, not more than that. So visa factor is something that they have to keep in mind.
Yes.
So I would recommend probably 3 to 4 weeks before the intake starts in. Keep that as a factor of consideration. The first question he did ask was, what do students study in the one additional year of honours? So honours is basically a specialization in one of the, say if we talk about Bachelor of Computer Science, if the student has selected cybersecurity as their majors, it will be a more research-oriented framework that the students have to study in their honors, the one additional year. Plus, that's also a good opportunity to have their resume ready, because any day a 3-year degree in comparison to a 4-year degree would hold much more weightage in the market as well.
Yep.
Then he's asked me, IB grade requirements differ for a 3-year, 4-year bachelor degree. So your IB grade requirements would not differ. Requirement would remain the same. It's up to the student which degree he would prefer, 3 years or 4 years. And we do have few package degree which are only 4 years honors degree. So we have both options ready for students who prefer to go into 3 years or the honors degree.
Great.
I hope I've answered all questions.
Yes, that seems pretty clear. And SM has another question. Again, I think this is regarding that student that obtained the scholarship, the 100% scholarship. Was the research paper written by an incoming undergraduate student or postgrad? I think it was incoming undergrad. Yeah.
Yes. So our Golden Jubilee is only for undergrad students and only for engineering programs.
Yeah. So she would have been a student, an international student currently studying in Australia. I think she did her ATAR.
No. So
she was from India.
Yes, she was from India, and she did her. She graduated from Jaipur, India, and she did her examinations in CBSE mode. So and she applied for it, and it's just that whenever you do have an application that you feel would be applicable for that particular scholarship, I'm more than happy to push it from my end as well. But then again, that particular scholarship is open worldwide. So there's immense competition, but I do believe that South Asia holds a lot of good applicants that come in.
Yes, Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. And yeah, because some of our agents may also have some onshore students like currently studying high school, currently in maybe
Yeah.
Australia. So the scholarships are also open for
Open
onshore
to
students
them.
as well. Yeah.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. Next question from Ram Gautam is, what's the gap acceptable for bachelor and master programs? So if we have a student offshore, they finish high school, but how long is the acceptable gap for both bachelor and master?
So to answer that question, we take it case by case. Now, all cases are different. Say someone had a health condition and could not go back to studying for a year. Now, that will be assessed in a different form. But say for a student who graduated in July 2019, but things like, like things that are out of his control happen in his life. To give you an example, like say coronas here,
Yep.
and he cannot go. So factors that like that would be taken into consideration. So I would recommend, if the gap is huge, to mention why the gap is so much in the SOP, because our team do read the SOP. And of course, if we have few questions or if we require a few documentation in support to what he or she has mentioned in the SOP, we will always come back to you and request for additional documents. But we do take it case by case. We do not let any student we say outrightly that you're not acceptable to our university. So we will assess the application case by case.
Fantastic. Okay, yeah, and if anyone does have any more questions about gaps and SOP, things like that, you're more than welcome to ask me and Niranjan after this. Next question from Pradeep is, does University of Newcastle have English prep or English for academic purposes program for those who fail to meet English requirements? Could you just quickly go through those details?
Yeah, so we do have EAP programs as well, and again, that would be based upon case by case. So for students who cannot meet our English requirements, we do have ELICOS programs at different dates. We have made few changes to that. I will share that across with you and Niranjan after this meeting as well, but it's all in our new brochure. So
Yes.
I'm sure one of you will share that across with everyone.
Yeah. So I think for bachelor and master, maybe one of the top questions would be, what would be the minimum Ielts needed to enter the EAP?
Yeah, so I would say around 5 or 5.5, but lower
Yes.
than that would not be recommended.
Possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not possible.
Yep.
Until and unless, again, there is some solid reason behind why that happened, which is, hard.
Yeah.
But we do accept PT, TOEFL, or equivalent exams.
Yes, fantastic. Yeah, times have changed, guys. So certainly those IELTS scores below 5, right across the board now for top universities like University of Newcastle. It's the 10th ranked university in Australia. It's going to be very difficult to get in with a score like that. So we definitely need some at least good background of good English background for sure. So
and another thing that I would like to highlight is we are also in the process of identifying, considering the current situation. I'm sure students can't go and give their exams right now for English proficiency. We are in the process of recognizing one key more English requirement exam, which would allow students to give that exam from home, but that will be administered or will be recorded by the university when they do. So again, when I have that information full-fledged, I will share that across with you. But we are working on something that would be beneficial.
Yeah, that's really great, and yeah, we'll all be patient, waiting for that one, because we know the situation's changing all the time. So that's great. Yeah. His question is for regarding Malaysian students. I think I will. Chi, I'll get back to you on that one. Yeah. But the entry requirement is quite simple, so I'll send that to you one later. Then we have, okay. What is the minimum overall mark required for engineering and nursing program from India? when prefers PG, and please let us know acceptable gap. Okay, you've talked about gap, but I think maybe nursing program requirement, and also engineering for PG.
Yeah, so we do look at a minimum of 70% for students entering into our bachelor programs, undergrad. For students coming into our postgrad programs, we are flexible with that. If you talk about engineering specifically, we would like to maintain the quality and it would be 60%, but please remember that varies on a lot of different factors. Again, we will take that case by case because in India, you have Section 1, Section 2, Section 3 universities. So our university does understand that Section 1 is harder to score. I would recommend making that application through, but nothing below 55 to 60. I wouldn't recommend making an application.
Yep. Great. And
flexible.
Yes. And could you quickly, maybe would the requirements differ depending on the region in India as well? Like if we're students coming from a high risk area, would you say that the entry requirement would need to be different, or it's right across the board in India, it would be the same, but more scrutiny on a high risk area for finance?
I think the scrutiny would be on the visa perspective, not with us. When it comes to regions, we treat every student equally, and we assess them on their academic requirement and their English proficiency. So just two factors that we have. And of course, in India, there is, again, as I said, Section 1, Section 2, Section 3. So we do have a record of which universities fall in Section 1 and Section 2. So we administer each application the way they come, and we do not refuse any application based on regions.
Yeah, that's great. That's really good to know. Next question from Sri Batsa is, what are the special effort University of Newcastle is taking for international students? This will be really useful for agents to convince students that University of Newcastle is always there for international students. Maybe you could say what else University of Newcastle is doing at this time during COVID-19 for current students as well during this situation.
So our university has announced 1 million hardship refund strategy program for our international students. We understand that the government has made few statements in response to international students, but please do know that at university front, at least our university is supporting these students. We are giving them free meals, and in instances where they are unable to pay for their fee, we have relaxed that for the students as well. And for students who are coming in the upcoming intakes, all we are requesting them to give a $5,000 deposit only for them to commence into the program, because I understand that at least in Nepal, the banks are shut. So no one can even transfer money there. So for next semester, say someone who's in a trimester intake and has to pay the fee, we have relaxed them for it based on their previous, achievement of score, or if they have any debt that they owe to the university. In fact, I was just looking at this link on our website, which I'm happy to share, which I've just received this morning. And this is public information for you all to assess the financial assistance that the university is providing to everyone, all students, be it onshore or offshore.
That's really fantastic.
So I'll just share that across on chat for you all to
see.
See.
You can share it on the chat. That'd be great.
Yeah.
There was another question from Chi about Malaysia. So Chi, I will, me and Wayne will get back to you regarding those Malaysian applications. That's a little bit different to outside of Dolly's purview. What about ELICOS and foundation programs? I think we've covered that. I'll get back to you, Govinda, about that. And foundation is regarding Newcastle International College. So me and Niranjan will get back to you for that. SM has another question. seems like he has a lot of IB student. Would
Yeah.
you consider an excellent IB extended essay instead of a research paper? I think this is regarding the scholarship. So if a student has a really good IB, would they be considered for the scholarship in lieu of extended essay, which I don't think so.
No, so I think she's got it wrong. So if a student is applying, is this in regards to Golden Jubilee, is what she's referring?
Yes,
Okay.
this
So
would be regarding the scholarship, yeah.
Yeah, so the Golden Jubilee Scholarship, we take into consideration your academic score 1. If we do have a tie, which we did have last year, the student who got the scholarship was 96.78, and there was another student who was 96.77. So in instances like this, it's a very strong tie. Then we consider other factors like extracurricular activities, etc., to make a decision. But for a student who is extremely academically gifted, that is first point of consideration for us. And of course, to apply for that program, we would like to know as to why is your profile different to others, and why do you think you would achieve the scholarship? So it's a very general paper, or like an SOP that you write. So it's just like that to cover your plus points in the paper. So it's not like a research paper. It's more to do with your qualifications.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. From Druba, could you please mention the accepted financial institutions from Nepal? Want to know the accepted banks from by the UON. I'm not sure.
We accept. Yeah, I do have that information. We do accept all banks that are listed by DHA, which come under the Nepal bank list, if I'm not wrong. I do have that list as well, so I can share that with you. But everything that's mentioned on the DHA, we follow that.
Okay. Yeah, everything on the THA. Yeah. Yeah, if we get that, yeah, we can send to Druba. So that's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, what IB scores are there? IB. What IB, SM again asked about IB scores. What IB scores are there? IB subject scores overall required? Do you consider SAT, ACT scores? Yes. Is double major possible? Will it take longer to complete?
No, double majors will not take longer to complete. It depends upon student and their ability to complete if they are choosing majors in one semester.
Yeah. Overall cost of education per year. I can go back and talk to you about that. Dolly did go over the prices before, but the range is around 25,000 to 35, around that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do have scholarships which would bring the cost much more lower.
Another good question from SM is, does UON give unconditional offer to IB students based on predicted scores? Because IB has been delayed this year and examinations cancelled. So would you give unconditional for a predicted score?
Yes, we do. We actually have a separate form that we have recently introduced, which I will be sharing it with Yes Education, and they can further share it with you. But to answer your question, yes, we have a separate form and an undertaking that we would require the counselor who's applying to take, and we would just need your signatures, and based on the previous and of course the predicted score, we'll be happy to give the unconditional offer, and based on the student meeting the conditions after the scores are out, we will be giving you a permanent unconditional offer letter with a different ID, and there is no application fee with us.
No application fee, yeah, that's great. Pradeep says, thank you everyone. Is the exam Duolingo? What do you mean by that, SM? I think he might. Is the exam Duolingo? Not sure.
I'm not too sure what that is.
I'm not sure what he means, but maybe he means multi-language. But I'll see if he writes another message below.
Okay.
Another question from Saru. is what would be the situation if the student is studying through online mode from their home country currently and will join on-campus mode later once the COVID-19 situation gets normal? Would the period be counted for PSW visa? So, and please share the information if you have received from the government. So yeah, if it's, first of all, do the online delivery offshore, if the student studies for like 6 months in India or Nepal first, and then goes to Australia and finishes their master's 1.5 years in Australia, would that be affected by the PSW?
So the information that right now I have on my hand is that the government did do some relaxation for similar cases when it comes to China. But again, I'm not too sure if that has been extended to South Asian countries or not. That is something that we will have to regularly monitor on the government's website. But as of now, nothing has been announced yet. But we are in the process of, if students do wish to do an online program with us for 3 or 4 months, again, the deposit would just be 5,000. Yes. And for PSW, we will have to get back to you once we have that information officially in black and white.
So process for the offshore delivery online would be apply for offer, then pay deposit, get COE, and once you have the COE, then the university will be in contact with the student, right?
Correct, and we do take 3 to 4 business days. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's right. Yeah, that's I've got to say that's that's a really good benefit that University of Newcastle. Not everyone is that has this right now, so it's a really good opportunity.
And just one more announcement that I would like to make. We have our admissions processes now, which would be carried out in Mumbai for entire South Asia, which would mean faster turnaround time for us to reach back to you with the, our assessment on your applications.
That's fantastic. So applications from Nepal would then go, and India would go through Mumbai. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so more real-time assessment.
Fantastic. And just, in regarding to the PSW, that's certainly the number one question on everybody's lips. We are all waiting for participation for this. We're constantly in dialogue with all of our partners and listening to government notifications on that. It will have to come from very high up. And I'm sure they're discussing this issue right now. At this moment, the regulatory bodies in Australia are working very tirelessly to work this one out. So we'll let you know, but there hasn't been an official, there have been some rumors, but when the information comes, we'll let you know straight away. So will a question from Bimla, will the scholarship be considered the students' Year 12 result for students going to undergrad courses? Yes.
Yes, so, we do have scholarships like the South Asia Business Scholarship, and then we have the Phoebe postgrad and undergrad scholarships. So the undergrad Phoebe scholarship is 5,000 per year. For South Asia Business Scholarship, it's 10,000 overall on the tuition fee. So yes, students will be considered. The 12th result will be considered.
SM asks, with the unconditional offer, can a student apply for visa for the July intake? And maybe you could explain, if students want to apply for July intake, what's the likelihood of? I think it's pretty obvious that studying onshore in Australia for July intake is pretty risky. Quite unlikely at this stage. So I think the best thing, you could still technically apply, right, Dolly? But once you get the offer, you probably most likely have to defer to a later date.
Yes. So the only thing that tumbles down is again the banks, which are shut at the moment in Nepal as well. If the student, how would they pay? Another thing, I think these things will be relaxed per country. I think after a month or so, even because the situation is so fluid, everyone is developing their strategies per day according to the changes that is being done. So we are issuing offer letters. Yes, we have not stopped doing that, but for visa, I think we'll have to see how we go, because that is something that you will have to do with the applying on the DHA website, etc. So it depends when they open their borders and how the situation is like in Australia in next month or so.
Yeah.
And then he's asked, typical range of IB overall scores you accept. Do you ask for subject-specific scores like UK universities in HL subjects? We look at overall scores, SM, and it's not subject-specific, but yes, for someone who's entering into IT, we would, of course, want the students to at least have maths or science as their main undertaking programs, undertaking courses when they've finished their 12th grade. So we will have specific subjects that we would require the student to do, but we do not have a specific subject score attached to each subject that they've studied. We look at an overall score.
Fantastic. And I just saw one message that came privately through to me, was from Sri Batsa. Is American GED accepted to study bachelor degree in University of Newcastle? GED is a General Education Development test. So I'm not sure about that one.
At the moment, no, but we will soon be accepting SATs, which was not a requirement before. But considering the current situation, SATs would be accepted. GED, I can get more information. If you do have enough students that do go through that program, I'll make a quick note and I can get back to Yes Education with this information. But to answer your question, at the moment, GED is not something that we are accepting, but more than happy to explore the opportunity of us accepting if that's a popular, English proficiency test that students take.
SM asks, is offer for IB unconditional always, or can it also be conditional offer?
So not always. Depends on case to case and when you're applying, but we do have that option of students to get the unconditional offer letter based on the predicted score. Now it's different per market as well when the results are coming in, but we do have that option for you to apply for unconditional offer letter.
And he said, yeah, Duolingo is like an app. It's like a language learning app. So he says, do you accept Duolingo instead of Ielts, which is definitely
at the moment, no. But happy to put that suggestion across to the team.
Yeah, at the moment, the main English proficiency tests would be TOEFL, IELTS, and
yes.
PT.
Yeah, but as I mentioned during my training, we are in the process of recognizing one more proficiency test, which will allow students to give that exam sitting at home while we are sitting on shore recording as to what you are doing. But I will be able to give more information once I have it in black and white, but it's still in the process. So for students who still wish to do the online learning while the situation is settled, they will be allowed to give that exam, and that exam is recognized by the Australian government as well. So there will be no issues for you to apply visas as well. Also, we are AL1 Institute now. So very easy for students to apply their visas to our university. And that's on 1st of April that we received that information.
Great. Okay, so I don't see any more questions there. Is there one more question? Yeah, so I think if there's no more questions left, we'll leave it there today. It's just past 1 hour now. So thank you so much again, Dolly, for your tireless effort. It was a really, really great training session today. Lots of really good questions, which is good. Nice active group. Yeah, all of our partners here are very, always thirsty for more information and always sponsor for Newcastle as well. So yeah, thank you everyone today, and thank you Dolly especially for your time. If anyone has any more questions, please let me or Niranjan know. We'll be happy to respond in time. And yeah, I hope you all stay safe during this time. It's difficult, and I know we'll get through it soon. And you too, Dolly. I hope you're all safe in Delhi.
Yep. Thank you so much, and
No problem.
thank you all to be here today.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, and bye for now.
Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.